Hello, everybody. This is a Sunday, and sometimes I like to come to work a little bit early just to start thinking about where we're going. Because you know what, we got so much to do with closing gaps for our people to be successful and safe and secure and thinking about the future. That my lane, if you call it, in economic development has me always thinking about what do I have to do to make sure that we get there. I can't get into all the other areas and gaps, but I can do little things along the way to try to do my part. So I'm planning in the background. So this is what I do. This is my board, and I'm thinking in a general sense what needs to be done. Got closing the gaps in the community. What are we doing specifically? I'm involved in a little bit of access to capital because it's any more capital we can bring to the communities or to people will provide them an opportunity to be successful. So Learning Bonds project is a project that ensures that a community can sign up for learning bonds for their community, for their children in care, or for the kids within their communities. The government matches 40%, so it's a big opportunity, and a majority of our community don't participate in that. They support the 30 students that apply to them, but then 100 of them are left out of attending post-secondary school because there's just not enough to go around. But this is one of the options. Submitting your taxes also provides a little bit of access to capital with the child tax. And if communities are able to become charities, we have a number of First Nation communities that have charitable status, and they're able to submit proposals to do different projects within their communities as long as they submit them to foundations. So there's a couple of things that we're doing. The big project that we're working on is access to capital. It's always been an issue for our community and in business. We're going to be launching a growth fund. Very excited because it's actually starting to happen. And the Ministry of Finance and Business Development Canada and Farm Credit Canada are all going to participate in the growth fund. And that's just the beginning, because after this, we deploy that capital to our AFIs, who in turn work with the entrepreneurs with adequate stimulus to ensure that money does get deployed. And then we're going to start raising more capital through foundations, corporations, family offices, and private equity. There's a whole area that we're just getting into, because social impact is a growing area. People want more from their money than just a financial return. They want to see that they're impacting the world in a good way. And I think within our community, we can show them that we can have a big impact. In capacity, we've never really had so here it is, Indigenous business hub we want to create. It's essentially a learning environment so that our entrepreneurs don't have to get bounced around from place to place looking for information and just trying to start a business. We need to have a central spot where all the information is kept. This will allow learning modules, mentorship, business support, seeing best practices, and having the tools to just develop at your own pace. So, and it's also going to allow for the AFIs to see the entrepreneurs on their learning journey and help them along the way. AFIs also need some learning tools, so we want to make sure that thing is fully inclusive and having of an environment. And of course, we need to make sure that we're working on policy. Securitization on reserves is hindered by the Section 89 on the Indian Act, so we need to work around on that, or we just need to eliminate that and create something new. So we need to get into that space. And the land and title recognition the First Nations have within their territories that allows them to recognize their land and obtain capital from it, and 275 court cases that forces partnership by government and by corporations with communities. It's sometimes it's the only thing you can do, because the whole system is set up to exclude us, and now we've got to force our way in there to be included. So these are some of the areas that we're working on here, and I think 2020 is a year of focus and of getting things done, because every dollar that we bring to the community, to the entrepreneur, is less that we need in the future. So we got to start thinking sustainability long term, because our kids deserve it. Miigwech, this is January 2020. Miigwech, Shannon, Matah Tuwaban.